So what I want to do in this video is show you the art of using a drum break. It is an art form that should be carried over into the next generation and the generation forward in electronic production, especially in hip hop, drum and bass, jungle, house music, etc. It is very essential. So I have a drum breaker too that I will go through, and it is made by Mcree. Just drums. I'm gonna let this one play real quick because it has some very interesting elements in it. I like that double. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on that data wheel. So you should click on your data wheel just to pull up your sample if you don't know. And the next thing we're gonna do is press Shift and sample edit. There are some key tips to, processing a drum break. Is not necessarily something that you need to do, but it is essential just in case you don't know anything about it. Like I said, we got this drum break here and we want to do some processing to it. So on the MPC Live X1, etc., you have a process button, and what we're going to do is process it. And I'm going to go over here to pitch. I'm going to show you what pitch shifting will do. So I will go up 3 semitones and hit do it, and it will go through the processing. Once everything is done, then if I play it again, you hear that? Just pitching it up or even pitching it down in this way, it keeps everything at 83 BPM, which is right here. And that we have a little bit more to work with. There are some other things that you might want to do. You might want to go and do bit reduction. You might want to take it down to 12. Let's go ahead and do that. A lot of people don't know you can do that over here. And you might want to go into processing and go normalize. So let's normalize it. And, we have all the transients loud enough. And we're good to go. So the next process is a no-brainer. We're going to chop up this drum break. So from here, we're in the trim menu. So we need to tap on this part of this tab, and then we're going to go over here into chop. Now you have manual chop, you have threshold chop, we have region chop, we have BPM chop. BPM chop is what I normally do, but what we want to do is threshold chop, and you'll see why in a second. So now we have a ton of stuff to work with, and if we addition it, we can, see that we got chops. So what we're gonna do is tighten up some of these, and remember, you can pull a pitch on the screen and look at stuff. So if you want, like this, for this example, this hi-hat, which I kind of like it like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this part so we have a clean hi-hat. We can adjust it, either right here on the Q links. Make sure that you're in the right Q link. Of course, you want to be on the start point. And you can also do shift and 0 snap, and then adjust other things too as well. Once you're done, you can pitch it in. And if you accidentally do something weird, you can always hit the undo. So as you can see, I did something a little weird there, and I am good to go. And what we're going to do is something else. We can go and explore other chops because we had a double in there. We're going to make sure that that double is in one of these pad banks. And we hear a pop, so we need to get rid of that pop. So let's go ahead and stretch it out again. And then go and adjust it. So make sure that you're in 0 snap, and we're gonna adjust the end. So let's adjust that end here. And we're good to go. So the next step, once you're done, just hit shift, convert, and we're gonna use a new drum program using slices non-destructive, but you can also do make new sample or make samples out of those. You can also assign slices to pad, but I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and use the traditional way. So we're on the main screen now, and what we need to do is select that drum break, make good note of it, but you'll notice that it cuts off, which is cool if we were just gonna use it like this, but we're not. What we're gonna do is this right here. We're gonna press menu and program edit. If you're on the MPC 1, you have a program edit button. You can just press that. And we're gonna go and focus on this region right here of this UI and go to polyphony. So we have poly. See. Seems like everything is done, right? Nah, we have more to go. So from here, we can go into sample, and you heard how I have, you know, that part right there where it's a hi-hat. We can do different things too. So maybe we want that kick to be lower, and it does not affect the other samples. Maybe I want this to be higher. So I don't want it to be lower in pitch, the kick that is. And that's cool, and you can do that for anything. And the hi-hat is cool, so what I want to do is move forward and go into envelope. So from envelope, we can tighten up stuff like this kick. We can tighten up anything. As you can see, it's individual for each chop. And what we want to do is adjust some of the regions here. So I need to go to the Q-Link, or you need to go to the Q-Link as well, and then adjust different parameters. So from here, I'm going to drop the sustain, and then I'm going to mess with the decay. And I even mess with the envelope a little bit more. And then I will go to the next one and do the exact same thing. I'm already in that Q-Link, so I will just go ahead and tighten up that snare. So I have an overall performance now. And we'll talk about that kick later. The next thing you could do is pretty cool. There are other things that you can adjust. You can adjust the filter envelope, pitch envelope. If you want to do wild stuff in there, I won't do it in this video. But the main thing I want to do is go into the effects tab, and we're going to make that kick into something vicious. So we can go into our dynamics and play with different things like compression, air pumper, air transient, and then add an effect. And if I want to, I can add reverb and so forth. So let's add a little bit of reverb. That's a little too much. We're gonna mess with the mix. But honestly, what I could do, and I just thought about it, we can use a sample tail so that it doesn't cut off so unnatural. So let's go ahead into tail length. And let's do the same for the snare. There's some more method to adding effects, and I'm going to show you that right now. Get ready for it. So we already went to the effects tab, but there's another tab right here where we can control. If we tap on that effects tab again, it has drum effects. So I can mess with ring modulation and, you know, just work with different effects. So let's go. So you can get some really good tonal stuff. I can bit crush, decimate, and I can just continue. See, I like that on the snare, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add it now. And then we'll find decimate again, the decimator, and add some crunch. it is time to lay down these drums. So I'm going to pick out a good BPM, about like 89. We're going to keep it hip hop for this video, right? Let's not be lazy. Let's go ahead and grab a sample. And boy, do I have some dope samples to go ahead and chop up. I have some dope samples from Orange Origami, and it's called Dream Schemes Volume 2. And I like that sample right there. We're gonna make something out of that. I'll go ahead and load that up and I'll spare you from the chopping process there. So I got quantize turned off, and let's go ahead and record it. You know, we don't do that quantize stuff. And we're gonna turn it off, get a little bit more volume, and then just go ahead and get into the sample. Turn it down a little bit. And simple as that, we're done, right? Well, the drums in itself could use a little bit of compression just to get some presence to those drums because they're a little thinner than usual. Let's do that. Pretty essential thing to do when you're messing with a drum break or any drums. You want to kind of add some compression to get the most out of it. So we'll go to dynamics. Let me go ahead and get back out of there because I know I'm a little fast on this thing. So I will hit this eyeball sign and then go into insert. And then go over here to dynamics. I could use compressor, limiter. Let's go ahead and try a limiter. I could do maximizer, but let's go ahead and go through the process. And you can hear the drums get a little louder. So what I want to do next is it's another thing with just messing with drums. You can always use LoFi, which is free, and you can also use, in terms of processing your drums, Flavor or Flavor Pro. I'll just use Flavor Pro for this instance here, and we'll just go to drums. And then, you know, just adjust your drums accordingly. Let's go into here. I hear that the kick is a little thin. And then I can go and adjust it. And there you go. Breaks.